What's going on, guys? Anastasio here with FlytPath.com. Now, if you guys haven't seen my most recent video on this right here, the new DJI Action 2, they just released this one and I did a full review. You can check it above as well as down below in the video description. And in that full review video, I did have a bunch of comparisons to this right here, the GoPro Hero 10, as well as the original Osmo Action, and this one right here, the Insta360 Go 2. Now, even though these are labeled as action cameras, I would probably still lean towards things like this, the original Osmo Action or the GoPro Hero 10. When it comes to more, I would say the extreme uses, or if you know that these cameras are going to be taking a beating, I feel like these are a little bit more comparable of how you'd be using them daily, what you'll be mounting them to, kind of what they're made to do. So in this video, I want to talk to you more about these right here, the Action 2 versus the Insta360 Go 2. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Anastasio. I do a lot of drone tech tips, tutorials, and product reviews right here on this channel. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing and also hitting that bell to be notified when I post new videos. Now, the main reason why I say these are a lot more comparable is because these were designed to be extremely small. As you can see here, this is the Action 2. You're able to shoot with that camera and screen right here. And on the Go 2, you're able to take this out, and this is all you'll need to capture footage, just like the Action 2. And because of the small size of each of these cameras, both of them come with very similar accessories for mounting them in different scenarios, different situations. The Insta360 and the Action 2 both have this magnetic pendant, which you're gonna be putting on the inside of your shirt. So if you wanted to have that first person view from this angle right here, you would put the pendant underneath and mount that camera straight to your chest. Now, as far as mounting it on your head, the Go 2 has this smaller one. It's more of a clip that you would put onto the front of your hat, and you can actually adjust this. And this is actually a first prototype version of the Action 2 head strap, but this is the one where you'd actually put around your head, and then you would mount your camera right here to the front of it. They have these right here, which have these sticky backs, so you're able to just put it onto the window here, put it onto your dashboard, and that way you're able to get some unique types of perspectives because you're able to mount these cameras pretty much anywhere. Now, by far the coolest feature of these cameras right here is the ability to move the camera all the way around, and you wouldn't even notice on the footage, but the horizon would stay nice and flat. And in order for you to use that feature on the Insta360 Go 2, you're gonna need to shoot in Pro Video mode. Once you shoot in Pro Video mode, whichever way you're moving the camera around, you can then take that footage into Insta360 Studio, and you can actually make it so that the horizon stays nice and flat. You would not even know that it's moving around. And when the Go 2 did come out, that definitely was one of the biggest highlights of this camera. Now, while it works really well, like I said, the only thing is you have to take that footage and run it through Studio in order for you to have that horizon nice and flat. What DJI did on the Action 2 now is that you're able to also have that same type of feature. You're able to move the camera around. However, you can't shoot in 4K. You actually have to lower your resolution to 2.7 and up to 60 frames per second. Now, the big difference here is that you don't have to actually run it through any software. DJI has it so it's built in. So once you are done shooting at 2.7, at 30, 24 or 60, you can just take that footage straight from the camera right onto your computer and begin editing it. You don't have to run it through another software. And as far as weight goes, we have 57 grams on the Action 2, and on the Go 2, you have 27 grams. Now, with that bigger size of a camera, there are some benefits of that too, and that's going to be video quality and sensor size. The sensor size on the Action 2 is a little bit bigger at 1/1.7 inch, and on the Go 2, we have a little bit smaller one, 1/2.3 inch sensor on the Go 2. Now, as far as being waterproof, these right here are waterproof if you're using just the cameras alone, but if you hook this up to the battery pack or if you put this into the charging case on the Go 2, this whole setup now is not waterproof, but just using the camera alone, you are able to use these in the water. Now, as far as video resolution goes, the Action 2 does take that one here. It shoots up to 4K at 120 frames a second, and the Insta360 Go 2 can shoot up to 1440 at 50 frames a second. Now, while that might seem like a downside for a lot of people on the Go 2 just as far as reading specs goes, but I think it's really up to the person as far as what you're going to be shooting and how high of a resolution do you really need. I've been using the Go 2 since it actually came out a little while back, and even though it's a 1440 resolution, it's definitely high enough quality to use in all of your social media, using it for additional kind of creative shots, some B-roll shots. So if you don't want to deal with the larger 4K file size, then an Insta360 Go 2 might work for you. Now, as far as memory storage goes, these both have 32 gig internal memory. Now, I believe Insta360 did come out with a 64 gig. I'll check that again and I'll leave the links down below. But I think they might have a 64 gig internal one, but you can't expand it out from that. You can't add more SD cards to it. On the Action 2, you are able to expand it. Now, one of the advantages of the Go 2 is that if you did damage this front lens, you are able to just unscrew it and replace this right there. The Action 2 does not have a lens cover, so if you did break that glass, you're not able to just easily replace it. You're more likely going to have to send that in. And of course, that's probably why I said in my last video, I recommend looking into that Care Refresh program from DJI. Now, there are going to be some third-party companies coming out with filters very similar to how this one right here. This is a macro lens, but it goes on with a magnet. This one's from DJI, but I do know that there's going to be some filter companies coming out that has that magnetic filter that goes on the front. But remember, this is just a magnet, so if you are using it in some extreme sports or underwater, I probably would not recommend just having a magnet on there, because more likely this will just easily slip right off. One of the benefits of shooting in pro mode on the Go 2 is that you are able to reposition your video just a little bit, but you're also able to change the aspect ratio when shooting in pro mode. And that's one of the cool things of the Go 2. You can actually just shoot your video and after the fact in Insta360 Studio, determine if you want to use a horizontal format or a portrait format. And you can actually change that. So if you're shooting something for YouTube, for yours, you can probably go wide. And if you're going to something for TikTok or Instagram stories, you can actually adjust the aspect ratio after you've shot. With the Action 2, you're gonna have to make that determination before you shoot, whether you're gonna be shooting in landscape mode or in portrait mode. So you don't have that ability or that option to make that decision later on like you do with the Go 2. Now, as far as price goes, the Go 2 starts at $299, and that includes that 32 gig internal storage here, and the Action 2 starts at $399, and that includes this one right here, which is the power combo. Now, if you wanted an extra screen on the very front, you can get this one right here, which is known as a dual LED screen combo. I'll make sure all the prices are above as well as down below in the video description. And there it is, guys, just my side-by-side comparison of these right here, the Go 2 from Insta360 as well as the DJI Action 2. These are two cameras that I think, like I said, have its own kind of category. And I do think that the unique perspectives and the ability to kind of stick these almost anywhere opens up a lot of creative possibilities with cameras like this. I hope this video was helpful. And of course, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. Make sure you guys check out all my other videos on the Action 2 above as well as down below in the video description. I have a bunch of videos coming out. And even if you want more videos on this right here, the Insta360 Go 2, make sure you guys check out that playlist down below. This is also Versatility with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.